Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Alyssa here, and I'm going to be making pizza. So I'm going to adjust my camera real quick so you can see what I do. Okay, so the first thing is we want to combine our yeast with our water, which is in the microwave, our olive oil, which we need 1.5 teaspoons of olive oil. So let me get a big bowl first. Okay, so I got my bowl, and we want to combine our yeast with our water and our salt. So we need a smaller bowl to start out with, because we're just combining yeast, water, and salt. So I'll be right back when I get everything I need. Okay, so we have our water. So first we're going to pour in our packet of yeast. I've got Hodgson Mill active dry yeast. I don't know if that's a fancy special kind, but I got it from a grocery store, so I don't know. Yeast kind of looks like a sand, kind of. It's odd. It's like whole grain yeast, I guess, is what that says. Oh, for whole grain bread. Oh well, we're making it for pizza crust. And then our water, which is warm water. I just heated mine up in the microwave, nothing especially special. 1.5 teaspoons, 1.5 tablespoons, that was almost bad. So, 1/2, 2/2, 3/2, that'd be 1 1/2, and salt, which is 1.5 tablespoons. So I'm just going to use my salt. Oh, sweet Jesus. My salt container, which I would use just for regular salt usually. In this case, I'm going to be using it for this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now this smells completely awful. So if yours smells funky, that is normal. Now we're just going to mix it up with a little wooden spoon, or whatever you guys want to mix with. It smells like alcohol, which is probably because this is an anaerobic, I can't think of the word, anaerobic something, which means the yeast does not use oxygen to do this reaction, which is what is used in an alcoholic reaction, and it's actually how they make alcohol. This probably isn't exactly how they make alcohol, because I'm using it to make pizza dough, so let's hope we're not boozing up the pizza dough. But in biology, that's what we learned, is anaerobic. Yeast is anaerobic, it uses no oxygen. Yeast is alive. Most people don't seem to know that yeast is alive. And we're just going to take our yeast mixture here. Here, let me show you what it looks like. It looks kind of like just oil mixed with bread, but like liquid. I don't know. It looks like broth of some kind. But you gotta let that sit for 5 minutes to do something called proof, which basically is like showing that the yeast works. So I'm just gonna let that sit for about 5 minutes, and when it's done, I'm gonna come back and we can move on to the next step, which is adding flour. So we're gonna transfer this to our bigger bowl, and we're gonna move on from there. Okay, so I'm back. Ignore the lighting's awful, I know. Okay, so I've gotten my flour, and I'm using a bread flour because it's specifically made to make bread. You can use all-purpose flour. I would use the bread flour, but if you can't get a hold of that because it is hard to find, you can just use all-purpose. So, here. So we have our yeast mixture right here, and my recipe says to add half of the bread flour that we're going to use, and then incorporate that first, then the rest, we'll do the rest. So I'm just going to add in this. We want to use 3 cups total, so I'm going to do 1 1/2 cups. And that's in there, so now we're going to mix it. Just going to use a wood spoon to mix the first set. The second half that you add in, you're going to probably add it, and when you do, you're going to mix it with your hands instead of the spoon. So you're just going to mix that all together, and you're going to get like a thick, clumpy looking thing. It's not attractive whatsoever. I'm just going to scrape your spoon off on the side, your fingers, whatever, and just get that all into the bowl. It's going to look really weird. It's going to smell really funky, and it's weird. Okay. So next, we're going to add another 1.5 cups of flour. So that's a 1/2 cup. That's another cup. Okay. So once you've done that, you can mix it again with your spoon prior. Just mix it up a little bit with your spoon so that you don't get your hands all dirty. And if you don't want to mix it with your spoon, you just want to do it with your hands, you just want to go at it, go ahead and knock yourself out. I'm going to start with the spoon so I can get it all dried up before I start doing it. So now we can just get at it with our hands. So you just take it and you mix it. It's going to be a little bit warm. It is dough. It's going to be warm. It's going to be sticky. It shouldn't be sticky when you're done though. So if your dough is sticky when you're done, you need to add more flour. Sticky dough is not a thing that you want, because then it will not turn out the way you're expecting your pizza to turn out. See, I'm just taking my dough and I'm just kneading it. I'm getting my hands all dirty. It's gonna happen. It's cooking. You get dirty when you cook. If you're not the type of person that likes to get dirty, then cooking probably is not the thing for you to do. Just saying. So I'm just going to keep on kneading and kneading it. Mine's slowly firming up, and it's starting to look more like a dough. You can see here it looks like a dough. Still needs a lot of flour to be incorporated, so I'm going to just scrape the sides and just blend it a little bit more with my hands when I get it in. So I'll be back when I'm done mixing my dough. Okay. Okay, so when you finish your dough, you're just going to take it and you're going to lightly grease a large green bowl, and you're just going to, or a large green bowl, just lightly grease any bowl. It doesn't have to be green. I said green because mine's green. It doesn't have to be green. But lightly grease a large bowl and just set it in there. Cover it with something, paper towels, anything. Cover it and let it be for 1 hour. And in that hour, I'll be back.